All right, folks. So today we're going to be getting into what is being said as the wokest game ever by this writer, where essentially this game, Dustborn, you're playing as a group of diverse characters, where you're continuously attacking robots that pretty much have the aura of either police officers or some military units, signaling that this is an Antifa game. And well, with this game, it is absolutely bombing and is already dead on arrival, with only peaking at 81 concurrent players at the release date, which was August 20th, which was yesterday. This is what happens when you continuously focus on having diversity, all these DEI requirements, rather than a good game and trying to market a good game. Whereas we've seen with Black Myth Wukong breaking Steam records, becoming the most played single player game on Steam ever. And yet we continue to get these kinds of pile of crap of games releasing time and time after again. And before we get into the article, please don't forget to subscribe, like, or dislike. It doesn't matter. Engagement helps, and I much appreciate it. Red Thread Games recently released game Dustborn, which has been described as the wokest game ever, has not even hit over 100 concurrent players on its release date. Back in July, following the release of the game's trailer, a representative for the game conducted an interview with PSU and confirmed the entire game spawned out of protest against Donald Trump being elected president of the United States in 2016. And it's kind of funny, throughout this entire interview, the interviewee is known as the representative. They never ever give a name out for this person. And it's also funny to me that this game has elements of Antifa, and yet alone, here we are with Donald Trump being mentioned because of their dislike with him. Perhaps it is because he was supposedly supposed to be a dictator of the United States of America. As we continue, the representative was asked what were some of the inspirations during the early days of making the game. He responded, "For us, it always begins with the characters and the world, followed by the narrative. We generally have an idea of genre, setting, mood, and tone, who the protagonists are, and then we build the game around that. Art direction, game mechanics, engine specific features, all of that follows the world, the story, and most importantly, the characters. That's very different to how some studios operate, but Red Thread is first and foremost a storytelling studio. We tell stories using a game mechanics and interactivity, and we try to do something fresh and different with every game that we develop." And you know what's funny to me is that if you go to the official launch trailer of this game, it only has 30,000 views, but just look at the likes compared to dislikes. 419 likes to 3.8k dislikes. And if you go to the comments, people are absolutely roasting this game. This person's saying right here, those 13 people must be the modern audience they talked about. Saints Row 6 Life is Strange Edition. Wow, a bunch of characters made to reflect the world today, yet you've never actually met anyone like them in real life. Tumblr artists didn't die, they just moved to mediums. And what's even more crazier to me is that the developers, out of their minds, thought that it was a good idea to price this game at $30. We had a game such as Concord, which I've covered numerous of times on this channel. Again, another woke disaster by SBI being involved in it, charging $40, and that game ultimately failed. And yet, you're having Dustborn here failing with a $30 surcharge for the game. And we take the concurrent players that played this game and we just times that by 30. I know that's a low number. These developers only made $2,430 throughout their development process, where apparently that this game was inspired 8 years ago. Get that in mind, that this game took apparently 8 years to develop, when you had Black Myth Wukong being in development for 4 to 5 years that had people hyped about it. It is absolutely insane to me. As we continue on. From there, he said, "Still, we wanted Dustborn to be an evolution of the work we did with Dreamfall Chapters, a third-person adventure with a strong cast of diverse characters in a vibrant, deep, and original world with some adventure game mechanics and lots of branching dialogues and stories. And of course, you have to have a strong cast of diverse characters that literally don't even signal or even showcase what the average person is." It's absolutely insane to me that people continuously want to appease these minority groups instead of trying to, again, focus on the majority of the gamer base or whatever it may be, whether it's media, entertainment, gaming, whatever it is. People continuously focus on these small groups just to appease them. And again, it all comes down to ESG loans, getting free interest rate loans by the government. But this time, we also wanted to include combat action with a narrative twist that stays true to our storytelling heritage, he added. And there's also a bunch of features connected to the idea, weaponized words, and how words have the power to change the world. Oh my goodness. Next, the representative revealed the game was inspired by the election of Donald Trump. The idea behind Dustborn's setting and characters was also influenced by a series of political events that deeply affected us all, beginning in the summer of 2016 and continuing until well today. The political events didn't affect us all. It's that so many people are delusional, thinking that just because the opposite side of the political spectrum is to be elected, that it's the end of the world. During this time, you had people saying that if Donald Trump was elected, that they would leave this country. Well, that never happened, did it? These people are all talk, but no show when it comes to their words. And once again, it continues to show that if you continue to focus on the modern audience, this audience that doesn't make up even a couple percentage points of the entire population in this globe, you're going to continue to have giant failures like this, even being called the wokest game ever. And this should signal that any future developers that continue to prioritize these DEI requirements, that this is probably going to be the result of your game if you're not focusing on what players want and the entertainment and the gameplay of your overall product is going to be. And with all that in mind, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye-bye.